Welcome back to the weekly portfolio updates. The US portfolio is currently sitting at just over $10,000. It broke the mark and sits at $10,048. It's currently up 5%, but that doesn't account for sales of previous stocks. This wasn't the best week for investors on the stock market, as tech stocks fell, as the majority did. As I have a lot of my money in tech stocks, my portfolio also felt it. Today I'm up a tiny bit, but overall across the week I'm down. Stocks that I bought into recently was QQQ and SPY and VOO. I decided now that stuff are down, it's best to invest because that's when you're going to make money. I invested some money into QQQ as tech stocks have been down, and I invested my money into SPY and VOO just to get the broader market as I try to diversify my portfolio more. QQQ is down 2.15% in the last month and down 1.27% in the last week. SPY and VOO are up 0.05% in the last month and down in the last week. Overall, there's not too much to say about the portfolio. You're going to have weeks of ups and downs, and especially with me being so heavily invested into tech, when tech goes down, my portfolio will go down. That is why I'm trying to invest more money into stuff like the S&P to help diversify, and I've been purchasing more of Costco. I was up on that, but now I'm down again nearly 6%, but it doesn't bother me because I'm in it for the long run. I'm going to continue to invest in these good companies over the long run to hopefully beat the market and be invested into strong, cash flow heavy companies. Breaking the $10,000 mark is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. Getting into the 5 digits is just something cool to look at. As much as the differences it won't make over the long run, as I continuously invest, it's nice to look at and see the progress. Because when you're consistently investing, sometimes it can feel like nothing's really happening. But when you see that build up and you see it into the results, it really does feel good. At the moment, I'm making more money than expected, so I'm planning on investing more money than usual. I was planning on investing roughly around $200 to $180 a week to hopefully hit the $10,000 over the year. But since I'm making more, these last few weeks I'm planning on investing $500 a week, and this will hopefully speed up the process of getting to that $10,000 mark for the year. In general business news, Congress introduced a game-changing crypto bill as the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other major cryptocurrencies all fall. As the Fed pushes ahead with its crypto investigation into a digital dollar, which would create competition for major currencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, one congressman is seeking a ban on government-issued digital currencies. This past Wednesday, Minnesota Republican Representatives Tom Emmer introduced a bill that would put a damper on the Fed's power in issuing a digital currency directly to American citizens, which he thinks would put the nation on an authoritarian path. Requiring users to open an account at the Fed, he said in a statement, "It is important to note that the Fed does not and should not have the authority to offer retail bank accounts." Although Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said cryptos could exist with central banking issued cryptocurrencies, the congressman argues that CBCD would allow the Fed to survey Americans, which defeats the whole purpose of decentralized cryptocurrencies. In other news, 2 friends who met on Twitter in high school are the latest in the under 30 billionaires. Henrique Dubugras and Pedro Franceschi, the 2 co-founders of billion-dollar startup Brex, a credit card startup, have added their names to the ever-growing fintech space. Today, Henrique, the 25-year-old, is the co-founder and CEO of corporate credit card startup Brex, which valued at roughly $7.4 billion. Henrique and his co-founder, Pedro, who is 24, are reportedly each worth $400 million. As Brex isn't even the first successful company they've started. In 2016, they sold their first payment company, Pega.me, for tens of millions. Henrique said in 2018, the company is now part of Stone, a $19 billion startup and one of the largest payment companies in Brazil, where the 2 co-founders grew up. But Brex is their baby. Today the company boasts 10,000 corporate customers including startups like Boxed and Outdoor Voices. And with its recent $425 million fundraising round led by investment firm Tiger Global, Brex has now raised more than $940 million from investors that include Y Combinator's and PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, along with more than $300 million in credit lines. Henrique wants Brex to keep growing and to provide corporate credit cards to more and more companies all across the world, so that the ever-growing company can realize their full potential, he says. But most importantly, he says he wants to stick with Brex for the long haul. Sometimes people call us serial entrepreneurs, Henrique says, of himself and Franceschi. We never wanted to be serial entrepreneurs. We just wanted to build one company and work on it for like 30 years. That is our dream, and that is what we want to do with Brex. Overall, this was a quiet week for investing. Not too much happened as stocks fell and some stocks rose. Tune in next week for a bigger portfolio update video compared to this short one, as the portfolio has now recently broken $10,000 and is on the next chase to the $100,000 mark.